Howdy, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Scrub, and welcome back to Going Medieval. Last time, we got to test our new Merlins that I think look pretty damn snazzy and are a bit more effective. It is the end of the night, so we are going to do a little bit of repairing, and then we'll deal with the bulk of the work in the morning. But I will say things did go just about as perfectly as we could expect. Just because I know we'll need it, I'm going to go ahead and set up another little warfare stockpile outside for some spare equipment. And today, we do have a few things that we can do. I think I have an idea for something in particular I want to do. We'll take a look at that in the morning, though. First, I want to make sure we get everything reset, repaired, make sure everyone's good and ready to go. In fact, I think the only person down for the count is Roderick, and I think that's because he had a concussion before the battle, so we did very well in that siege. And there was a comment, and this might explain why I felt like we did a lot better there, is aside from the benefit of just being able to, shoot down directly in the two below you, which is good, it feels like the defenses actually worked better and we could shoot more. And the reason for that, and I don't know if this is confirmed or if it's just theory crafting, when these are up on the walls, they might actually block some line of sight for your villagers when they're behind it. Not like all the way, but just like every once in a while you might get a weird angle that doesn't work. Really do feel like we blocked a lot more shots with the Merlins than when we had them before, so yeah, I don't know. That's a weird one, but lesson learned, we pretty much want to be doing that whenever possible. Oh, we can't fill one in there. Dope. Yeah, we'll definitely want to fill this corner in if that's the case. There we go. Now we'll get this little corner piece in as well. Okay, we have plenty of room on the clothing stockpile, so we just got to make sure that all the warfare stuff gets brought into the keep, and then we should be a-okay. And probably go ahead and cancel any little jobs outside the keep for now, so I can figure out exactly what we need to do. Oh, hey, speaking of good things, though, hello, boar. Definitely grab that. And just in case you didn't see the community post about why my uploads have suddenly become infrequent, my apartment's being renovated, so they've torn apart my kitchen, and they're redoing the entire wall in my living room, which is where I record. So don't worry, content will be coming out, and I will try to get more done in batches so that you guys can have daily content. But if you do miss a day or two, sorry about that, but that is why that's happening. The good news is they are making decent progress, so hopefully it won't be too long before things get fixed. And I'm actually going to urgent haul these bodies so that we can avoid stacking that penalty over and over. Okay, so I haven't opened the menu yet. Right now it's saying that Gawk is willing to train, Rai is not. Huh, okay, so this time it kept to 1. Interesting. Also, I guess some more goats were born while we were doing stuff, so more haulers, huzzah. And to start off, we're going to keep the workload a little bit light while we figure out exactly what we need to do. Although I do think getting some wood will probably be a pretty consistent thing we need this part, so I'll go ahead and mark a few dead trees. And it is starting to get a little bit colder out, so I'm going to probably cut some of these short. I'm actually going to do these at... some of these are already flowering, though. Okay, we'll let the rest of that go to flowering, then we might cut that down to ripe, depending on how long it takes. More flowering over here. Yeah, definitely pull those out. A field maple inside my keep. Get out of here with that nonsense. And an oak tree. Gotta keep these random trees out of here. Okay, looks like we're going about resetting all the traps pretty quickly, so those should be a-okay for us. And we will once again reset up all the ice boxes in the world. Unfortunately, I think even if you copy them over when they're on forever, it doesn't carry over for some reason, so I think you do have to reset this manually each time. Not the worst thing, but it is something to be aware of. Who put a dung pile in here? Seriously, I don't need you guys shitting on the equipment. We need that stuff in decent condition, at least. And I think we actually just need to expand this one a little bit. That should hopefully get us taken care of. Dead bull cat outside. Definitely grab that. Alright, looks like we got a bunch of winter clothes from that siege. I'm guessing a lot of this needs to get crafted down, though, so I think we'll be good for winter. Oh, no, we are still summer boys for the most part. Sorry, I'm playing a little bit of catch-up myself, since it's been quite a while since I've been able to record. And it looks like we're getting the last of the gates up, so we'll go ahead and open that, and then we should be alright. And speaking of gates, there was something I was interested in over in research. Defensive Structure 4. That gives us one, the new fire traps, but more immediately useful, that'll give us the Portcullis. We have been doing well in the sieges, but I think we can probably get to the point where they don't break inside. So we're going to go for that. Oh, it's going to be offset one way or the other. Ew. That is unfortunate. Not a whole lot we can do about it. Follow-up question. Where do we actually want the thing? Because I was thinking we could knock this one out and put the portcullis in here. We will have to remove a bunch of the traps, and it might make our trap setup even less effective in here. But we'll definitely push out one more set of gates out to this part. So we should be pretty good after that. Yeah, let's go ahead and destroy all of that to start off. And if we're doing that, we're definitely going to need to destroy some of these basic traps. Depending on how many mechanical components we have, I might even be tempted to try and upgrade some of our interior traps to the higher quality ones, because mechanical components shouldn't be that bad for us. 15 metal, we have 367, and we do still have some iron that can be smelted, so I think we can probably bump this up to, let's say 30 on hand. That should be all right. And we should probably go ahead and get Roderick on the schedule, because I think tomorrow he should be available to work. Let's see, how are you feeling, buddy? 23 hours. I think he'll start working a little bit before that, but he is more or less recovered. And for the fire trap, we do need flammable oil, which we do not have yet. We will get there someday, but not today. Also, why have we not hauled this corpse? There's room on here. Somebody please get rid of this. Hey, Aldolf, I don't like you. Go pick up this corpse and move it, please. Oh, right, you're... Hey, Lotta, I do like you, but please haul this body. I need somebody to take care of it. Thank you. And we've started using some of the stuff in here, so we can go ahead and start shrinking this zone so that everything gets brought inside. Oh, and speaking of things I need to get covered, these wooden racks that I think make a great addition. We're going to go ahead and put a temporary little cover on them. We'll come up with a more elegant solution later on, but I think for now that should help make sure that the weapons don't deteriorate too quickly. Okay, there we go. The deconstruction's done. So how is this going to fit in here? The one disadvantage about these things is that they require a lot of room to properly operate. Hopefully we can get away with that. Chances are I might need to delete some of these traps or this one up here. Okay, looks like all that's left out here is some low quality clothing. So I'm going to mark it for urgent haul so that our guys bring it up and then we can have our tailors just chip away at it when they have time. Oh, hello, a new cattle. And Gok, female. Is the other one female or male? I think it's female. Yeah, looks like it. So, 2 female cattle, but hey, 2's better than none. We'll find a male eventually. Okay, looks like we got rid of these, so how much more will we have to get rid of? And you gotta make sure that the footprints are on the inside, because that's where you'll actually raise the gate. I say as I place it in the opposite direction. Okay, we're actually able to squeeze it in pretty nicely. And can we place any more traps out front of it, is the question. Okay, we got 2 over here in this little area. Other than that, this does have to remain clear, so... Not the best setup, but definitely not the worst. And I do think I like this setup in this area in particular because it gives you a decent amount of traps, but it also gives you decent angles to fire from. So hopefully if you do have to move, it's not very far and then you'll be able to get a target. So I think we're going to go with that kind of spacing again for the next set of doors. And I was just looking at our skills to see who could equip what. Gricia is actually pretty close to leveling, so I'm going to have her prioritize training. So hopefully she'll get knocked over to 10 and we can give her a longbow. Other than that, it looks like we have a few people that are either right under or very close. We never gave you the crossbow, did we? There we go. Definitely make sure you get that. And Godsir is far off, but he has a star in it. Alada is also close, but we need her to garden, so we might have her do some of this before the day's out. Okay, other than that, it doesn't look like we're too close on anything. And there we go, Gricia at 10. Perfect. So now we need to find you a good longbow. Hold on, let's just do it like this. Let's be smart about it. Alright, we got 2 good longbows right now. You're on the stockpile, we'll go grab that one. And if we do end up with some free time, I'm probably going to have Gricia do some more woodworking to get carpentry up so we can start making crossbows. We do have a lot of construction projects planned right now, so I don't want to worry about it right away. Hopefully we'll get to a point soonish where we have an abundance of wood, although I doubt that's going to be for a while. Alright, that's the last bit of flowering cabbage, so now we're going to knock this down to ripe so that we can stockpile food for winter. Our seed counts are looking pretty solid. And raw food. Good, red currant, good on barley. Okay. So, at the moment, it does look like that our food income is sustainable and, more importantly, kind of thriving. Love to see it. Don't love to see these random-ass oaks in here, though. Get out of here. Okay, I think we've got most of the stuff in the warehouse that we can get, and there's a few empty spots, so now we should get everything else inside. And Mihin milled up to 23 smithing isn't too shabby. More importantly, it looks like Adonia is going to get to work on the Portcullis gate. I think she's going to go to break before she finishes it, though. And she gets up to 43 construction out of it. Actually, it looks like she's just going to work through break, so... Alright, Adonia, I see you. I respect wanting to get this done. Now we have a nice Portcullis, huzzah. And I don't know if we can do this or not. Okay, it looks like the game is chill with you going right above a portcullis with the flooring, so we will definitely make use of that. Okay, and they've been putting this one off for a while, so I do want to let them finish building this little canopy before I set up the next set of gates. There we go. Now this is open, and they should be pretty easy to close in a siege, and we do have the diagonal movement still, so we should be a-okay there. And follow up. How much more health do you have? 880... Okay, so an extra 200 on top of the basic tall gates. That is not too shabby. We're definitely going to come up with a little bit more of a nice solution for this as well as armor. We won't be able to do that for a while. For now, this will have to be okay. Although it would be nice getting some armor racks out. Do we have that unlocked? No, it's furniture too we need. Oh, was I waiting on something? I know we just got that. I was looking at this and we just got it. Steel I'm not worried about. We don't need decorative 2 yet. Process raw materials. I still don't know what we need for oil. I can probably look it up in the almanac. Could be funnier to not look it up and then realize we can't make it for a long time. That might be interesting. But again, I feel like we actually are getting decent stuff off the ground. We'll definitely want to grab that eventually. I'm going to hold on to my points for a bit, kind of think it over. Gricia almost up to 30 smithing. That is really nice. I feel like you always end up with an abundance of people on animal husbandry and smiths. I feel like that's the two jobs with the most overlay. It's not terrible, but it is kind of odd that it's always those two, at least in my experience. I usually end up with a solid handful of gardeners, but I don't usually have that many extras. Mehenilda and Marcus age up, 54 and 34, no perks for either. Okay, early morning, it looks like we're caught up on most of our construction, so I think we're good to set up the next gates. And you might be thinking, oh, we're gonna go with some more tall gates. That'll be nice, that'll extend that out, we'll have a little bit more of a life cycle. Surprise, it's another portcullis. And I'm setting this one a little bit outset, so hopefully that means we can lay more traps in here. There we go, nice little wedge pattern right there. Love to see it. I will say the one thing that is a little unfortunate about this strategy is that when I eventually do want to build the towers out to hit the front gates, it is going to be such a long walk to get there. At this point, I think it's not even going to be a part of the regular wall. I'm probably just gonna have to do like an offshoot off the furthest gate and then just have them come out a little bit. You might try and go for some traditional corner ones, like little guardhouses or something, but I'm not entirely sure about that. And Adonia, could you please prioritize this because you're the only one that can do it? Thank you. As you can see, we did copy the one that had something on it, but it didn't copy that over, so I don't know if that's intentional or that's a bug, but that would be nice if it worked for this as well, because it works for zones. I think it doesn't work for objects, maybe. Okay, and once the gate's up, we can probably rebuild what got destroyed last siege in time for the next siege, so we'll be ready for it. A slight problem with that plan. I was just looking at my resources. We're actually low on clay, so we might actually need to set up a little bit of mining, which I think the one out back might be the closest. This one's closer, but it's also next to... Oh, well, you know what? The bodies are gone, so this might not be terrible. Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and start a little mine out by the waste stuff. We'll probably end up needing to move that somewhere else. Yeah, we don't really use this area for anything. Let's go ahead and dump all the bodies out here. I don't know if they're gonna get a negative modifier for working next to dung. If so, you don't mind it right away. Good news, we don't have to move the waste pile. And here we go, the next portcullis is getting built up. So I think with 4 legitimate gates, as well as the security door. I don't know if this is gonna keep everyone out, but it should at least make it so that when they do get inside, it should be a pretty quick affair because we can get them coming in. It's pretty nice, but as we saw last time, a few of them were able to get around this house pretty easily. So we might want to do something about that. I do have a couple ideas in mind. Building keeps organically and kind of free flow as the ideas come up is kind of how I do things usually. And so far it's worked out pretty well for me. So that's probably what we're going to keep doing here. I have a loose idea of what I want to do over in this section though. Also, Adonia, I think you're working through break again on the portcullis. I am so sorry about that. You know what? At least you're not one of the annoyed ones. It's the usual suspects. Another cattle. Hey, there's that male we were looking for. Oh, but we have to tame this one because it's wild. Okay, well, hopefully we tame it before it gets killed. And last portcullis is up, so we need to open it. Adonia, please take care of that. And the traps already got built, even better. I think we have a couple people that can build these now, so at least the basic traps aren't that much of an issue anymore. I don't know how much we're gonna need for the other ones. Let's see, that's at 15, 20, 30 for metal, 25 for fire. Yeah, you're at 43, you're at 16. You're actually our next best builder at 16. So Adonia has to do our top tier traps, but we are getting some backups that are starting to be okay at it. There we go. I think our stick trap network should be up and okay for a little while. And we are on the 5th of autumn, so we should probably start looking at what we want to do with our seeds next. These are growing into ripe. That'll be pretty close. Ripe is 3-day harvest period, so that's not terrible. And I'm just gonna force assign these carrots because they keep ignoring it. Let's see, 4 days on that, 3 on that, 4 on that. I think we can get one more good round of harvesting in, and then we might be able to squeeze another one in, or we'll call it. Our cellar's looking pretty good, I think. I haven't checked in a while. Literally full as it turns out, so we should probably go ahead and build the next row of shelves, and then we'll recheck that. Okay, there we go. Just had to go out here, get the last of the carrots in. So now all the fields should be up and running in the correct order with nothing extra hanging out. And here's Aldolf out here doing the one thing he's good at. Good job, man. Proud of you. And we did get a couple chunks out, so I think we're good to go ahead and start rebuilding what we need to. And let's see, that was the smokehouse over here next to the water barrel. The kiln, which, yeah, that's the interesting thing, because this did catch the bridge on fire. That also could, in theory, work for us, but chances are it would burn out of control before we get the minor convenience of them not being able to use the bridge. So we probably shouldn't set it right there. And I could set it back here. The problem with this is I think it's going to encourage the AI to run back here, which means it's going to be tougher for us to get shots on them. And I probably don't want it on the wall itself, which, well, I say that. Is it really a problem if it's on the wall? Because if they're already inside, they're already inside. So if it burns a hole in the gated, or a hole in the wall rather, it doesn't really matter, does it? Let's try that out. I'm probably going to regret this, but yeah, let's do clay kiln, and that is the smelting furnace. And we will need to delete one of these buckets for mobility's sake. Just to be safe, we will put some water barrels near here, and I think you can actually prioritize people to fill stuff up now. So once those get built and everything's in place, we'll probably do that to make sure we have some water in there. Aside from that, I have also been trying to hold back on issuing too many orders at once to let us get caught up with the little busy work in between, because I feel like that's a place where we tend to not keep the best eye on. And it is actually starting to get cold out, although if you do have a reason to complain, I will actually start switching everyone over to Snow Bunny in the morning. Now, speaking of, happy birthday. No perk. You know what? It's better than rolling a -1. Good job, man. Yeah, everyone's starting to suffer from cold, so we'll definitely want to change that. All the braziers are on medium, right? No, intensity's low. Let's go ahead and bump those up. Okay, that should make everyone else a little bit happier, hopefully. Bright and early, everyone just switch over to this right away so we know how much we have and how much we need. While we're doing that, I'm going to make sure that our javelin throwers have some shields equipped as well. Okay, I think we might need to force equip some basic winter. Either that or we may have just enough. Need to let Margeria and Marcus grab their stuff, and Adonia as well. Just perfect. Snow bunnies across the board. You'll love to see it. With that in mind, we can go ahead and drop this down to having 4 extra on hand. Should be nice. And then we'll make sure we have enough summer clothes for everybody. Okay, good news. It looks like we're actually caught up on the harvest, so we can probably go do a bunch of wood gathering. Honestly, just go ahead and grab a giant bunch out here all at once. That's probably honestly the way I should probably be doing this a little bit more often, is just kind of clear cut one area instead of picking out dead ones all over the place. Because yeah, the AI is not the best at prioritizing logical work paths. Like sometimes they'll just go for the order you went in when doing a bunch of them at once would be more efficient. So you gotta keep an eye out for that. And since we do have a free moment, we can probably look at our next research. You know, I was gonna say this might be a good way to get carpentry up. I'm pretty sure this counts as art, so I don't think we want to do that. The oil press, I feel like, requires some stuff that I don't have access to, so I'm hesitant to grab that right away. Rune's a pretty basic one, but our cook's already constantly busy as it is, so we probably don't need to add more to that, at least until we get another one. I think furniture 2 is probably a decent option. We do want to get some armor racks going, and getting candelabras to make everyone's room nicer along with beds would be extremely nice. That being said, we will want to save up a bit of wood for that, and we're actually out of sticks, I guess. That is not something I ever really thought would be a problem. Oh, go ahead and start chopping the little stuff around base. I was gonna save it for the goats. I'm thinking we could also go ahead and try and get a little bit more of this wall merlined up if we have nothing better to do. Okay, there we go. These are getting a little bit of water. I think that might have been from the rain, though. I'm not entirely sure. Go ahead and try and get 300 of the bricks out. And then, you know, this should be decent fuel. Let's go ahead and try and make 50 of them. Makes 20, let's go 60. Let's try and have 100 coal. That should be keeping our kiln pretty busy. And of course, we want to have 300 iron ingots. And we don't have the other precious metals yet, so don't even worry about it. And who doesn't love smoked meat? Oh yeah, look at that. We used up all our sticks out here on traps. Go team. Fortunately, since we don't really ever chop these, we have plenty of extra sticks laying around. And of course, we'll have some from the chopping we did out here. Don't cut that little guy. Okay, an attack by river bandits. 26 up here. 7 archers, a lot of melee. All right, well, you know what? They at least chose a time when everyone should be in the keep, right? It looks like that's everybody, so we can start getting up over to this side, and you can do manual labor, right, Marcus? Yeah, you're absolutely fine at it. You go ahead and... Oh, right, sometimes it's weird. I don't think you can actually prioritize work while you have them drafted, so we'll have to do this one at a time and then we'll be good. Okay, and everyone did grab shields, that's good. Oh yeah, also something I'm interested to see. I think it was in a hotfix that came out a while ago. They used to come at you in pretty much a straight line all the time because they thought that was the most efficient. Now they're apparently supposed to spread out a bit more and be more like a legit attacking force, so that'll be interesting to see how that changes the approach strategy. Although I think we're pretty good to go ahead and start off with what we have over here. And funnily enough, all our javelins showed up first, so those can get farther out. Donia, you can pull up here. Aldolf, pull up over there. Marcus can go ahead and lock the next door. Okay, looks like we still have a little bit of time before they get here, so probably try and get our javelins set up along here, since they'll hopefully be able to pick off people that are coming closer to the wall. Gricia with the longbow on the corner, I'm tempted by. Get a little bit of a decent spread going. And there is our crossbow. You can go ahead and hit this middle. Okay, that is... Oh, you still have more to do, Marcus. Please stop praying. It may or may not help the flow of battle, but doors definitely do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. Okay, so Marcus is the last one down, and then we should be A-okay. And I think he'll be done just in time to help out with the defense. Okay, looks like he froze up a little bit, buddy. That's fine. Go ahead and lock the final door, please. Okay, here's interesting. They actually pulled up a little bit short with their firing element. And you have a short bow? Yeah, okay. So you can get up. Let's say over here is probably your quickest. Yeah, there we go. Okay, they're definitely spreading out a lot more. That is concerning. Okay, it looks like they might be just outside of Jav range, so I'm gonna pull you a little bit closer. Here we go. And you guys hold ground, and let's see. That's an archer. Yeah, hit this guy that's close, if you can, because we have the capability now. Huzzah. Okay, yeah, you guys hold your ground, finish off this Ruthless. Margeria with the crossbow should probably get over here to do more work. And we'll let these guys just kind of play for picks. I say that. Margeria, kill that one. Thank you. Okay, you guys might be getting tied up on one person that's probably not worth that much effort. So pull up this way, and then we'll reevaluate. Okay, yeah, Godzer, hold ground there. Donia, you hold ground there. And they have officially gotten to the Portcullis. They haven't damaged it yet. Okay, it looks like a lot of their heavy-duty stuff is up at the front. Their archers are definitely spread out, which is smart. Gricia just took a pretty nasty blow, it looks like. Go ahead and pull back over this way for now. Please keep pulling back. Okay, so yeah, the Merlins definitely don't make you invincible, but they certainly help. Okay, and that is definitely not worth our time for one archer out there. So, Aldolf, you can go ahead and take the position over here. Godser, take the corner itself. And Adonia, you go ahead and move over this way. Alright, and I think for now, yeah, I think it might be better to let these guys go on their own more often, because I feel like their rate of fire is better compared to when you micromanage them, because I think they have to reset every time you do that versus them just keeping firing. So we'll try to let that happen a little bit more. And how many archers are left is really the question here. I see 3 so far, 4. Okay, looks like it's probably 4, which isn't terrible for us. I think what we'll do, you guys hold ground, fire on this archer. You guys have the throwing weapons, so I am going to risk putting you out here like so. I'm going to put you on this side since that's away from the archers, though. Gricia just took another hit. Gricia, you pull way back, actually. We'll get you somewhere later. You guys pull up this way. Oh, you just ate another hit. It's a good thing we have you in plate mail. You need it. Okay, Margeria still has picks, but yeah, the further out you are, the harder it is to hit, so we definitely want to get a little bit closer. You guys, hold ground and fire at the adept that's trying to... Godser, please. Yeah, someone save poor Gricia. Okay, you two just fired, so I'm gonna have you move it over here now. Okay, crossbow, you need to get a little bit closer. You're a lot of damage output. Marcus, don't stand on the Merlin, please. Now's not the time for it. You guys go ahead and target that. You get over here for the next door that comes down. Okay, you guys all hold ground for a second, and please take out the archer. Thank you. Next archer, please. Okay, Godser, you clearly want to move. So you go ahead and go over there. Aldolf, you stop here. Alada's doing some pretty decent long-range javelin, but I think we definitely want her on the gate at this point. Okay, archer down. This is the next archer. You guys all hold ground again, and please take that out. Yeah, it seems like at least the counterfire, they're smart enough to go for who's firing at them. So it's not entirely bad. That being said, are you going to prioritize Gricia because she's out front now? Okay, is that all the archers? Hey, you know what, guys? Good news. You can just cover over this. It updates real time. So we got all the archers down. And they are only through this one. They are just about through this one, though. So we definitely need to pull up and be ready to fight. And that means Margeria, you definitely get, like, over here-ish. Because you have the crossbow. Do you have any... Okay, you don't have any angles there. What about you guys? Although if you can get a little bit of a better angle. Okay, and now you guys don't have angles. So you move back here. And Marcus can move over here. And I think maybe just let these guys auto-fire? Okay, that was interesting. So I saw Roderick there not moving for a little bit. I gave him a target, and now he's fine. So if you see that, maybe just give a quick order to your guys to make sure they're active. Yeah, it just happened again, I think. Yeah, it's interesting. Yep, now it's just a little bit of a slog in the killing zone, and okay. I do think going for the extra portcullis was definitely the right call. This definitely feels a lot better, and you have no javelins, my dude. Unfortunate. Good news, there's actually some fine javelins. So you go grab that. And yeah, just to make sure. Okay, I wasn't sure if these guys on these bridges would be able to shoot down. It looks like they can, so that's okay. And you have your javelin, so you go ahead and get back into the fray like so. Actually, just try and hit this corner. Hey, Adonia gets some marksmanship. Okay, I think Gricia needs to move up to get an angle, as well as Mehenilda. Okay, yeah, this is... I do think we still want to get some towers out to shoot at that first gate, but that went extremely well. Easily the best one so far. And we're not worried about prisoners, because we don't have the technology, unfortunately. We will shoot the crap out of you as you run away, though. Oh, interesting. So I guess now they're just going to run away. They didn't automatically run towards wherever they were. Alright, scatter, you bastards. Good day. Good day. With that siege wrapped up, we can call it a part for here. A very good test of our new defenses. That went extremely well. We're starting to get a little bit more of a grasp on the combat, especially with that new way that enemies come in. That's a lot more interesting. Maybe the siege AI might have gotten smarter, because I feel like the archers would even rush the gates usually, but they actually spread out, and it seemed like the AI was trying to consider at least how bunched up it was. So I am curious to see how that affects things going forward. And next time, we will go ahead and get all this stuff repaired. We do have a Gricia that needs medical treatment. Other than that, though, we should be good. And we do have a couple doctors, so that won't be an issue. Since we're halfway through autumn, we can go ahead and see when we're going to get our last harvest in, which will probably be in the next few days. And we also have a couple more expansions that we're considering doing, which I think involves some chambers and possibly even linking up the first of the interior keep. So hopefully y'all are looking forward to that. Until then, thanks for stopping by. See you later.